Alrighty, let's try this one more time. This is now the fourth time that I'm getting ready to do this live stream. Last night I was way too tired to try to do this. I was trying to do these late night live streams and they just don't work out for me. I'm too tired for that. Um, I'm too tired to do, I'm always way too tired to do those late night streams. So, I don't really expect too many people in this live stream today, but I do want to talk about it. I've been trying to talk about it for like 4 times now. It's like my fourth time trying to make this live stream, so we're gonna at this point just do what it do. Hopefully my internet doesn't start acting up because that would be a little irritating. Let me try to pin this to the top if my service would stop acting so wonky. Let me try to turn up my microphone as well a little bit. Oh my gosh, why is everything going so slow? It's really pissing me off. Oh my gosh, you're all the way out there. I do not feel like driving out there today. Alright, let's pin message. Ain't no sorry, H&M, I told you these pants. Hello. Oh my gosh. My computer is acting so laggy. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a restricted group, huh? Okay. That's irritating. Alrighty, let me get into this live stream. I'm doing too much. So today I just wanted to come on and talk about the comment section of a lot of the red pill and manosphere YouTubers that I watch, such as like Donovan Sharp, Kevin Samuels, jessicax, all the main ones. The business, all of that. And something that I've noticed in a lot of these comment sections, especially like of the live stream itself, like as it's going on, is that the men who claim to be high value and divested and so on and so forth don't really act very divested and uninterested in the activities of the women that they claim to not be interested in. And it's just a little like puzzling for me. And I feel like there's a lot of discrepancies in the movement and the people within it. And I'd like to address it because I think that it would really make life a little bit easier for men who are divested and are looking to, find that J-Lo or whatever you guys are looking for. I don't really know too much. I'm still obviously very much learning about everything that is going on in the community. But from what I've seen, these are the 5 reasons why I believe men will be held back and why they will not progress within this movement if they keep these things up. So, first of all, it is the the degradation of women, and primarily Black women, because I think we can all agree a lot of men in this community are Black. Um, Obviously, there are a lot of like white men in the red pill community as well, but I'm talking specifically about the Black portion of the red pill community. um, in my opinion, I feel like for people who claim to be so divested and so have this for lack of better words, like a grandiose sense of being, um why do you have such an opinion on everything that the women who you claim not to be interested in do? Like, you say you don't care about Pookies and Ray Rays and her multiple baby daddies, but you're the first one to comment on her. You're the first person to have something to say about her. But I thought you didn't even like her. I thought you didn't even pay her any mind because she's so ratchet and ghetto. Why do you have such an opinion on her? And I feel like a lot of the rebuttals are always like, oh, like women in the pink pill community are always talking about men, blah, 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 blah. We're just doing it back. But that's petty. I thought you guys were supposed to be a lot more mature and a lot more higher value and quality to not be paying so much attention to garbage. As basically that's how you guys describe them and how you treat them is garbage. Like if they're trash and disposable, why do you give the trash and the rats so much attention and so much energy? That is the portion that I don't understand, because I feel like truly unbothered people don't need to address every single offense. Every time someone says something mean to you, you don't have to say something back. And I feel like it really just exposes your own flaws and insecurities and gives women more stuff to talk about, because we notice this and we see that every time someone has something mean to say about you, you have to say something mean back. And yes, I know it hurts to like, like be told like, oh, you're a dusty, you're this and a that constantly, but it bless you, baby. But ignoring them, I feel, is the best way to show that you are truly uninterested and like could care less or couldn't care less. Um, yeah. So that's my first point. I really feel like a lot of men just pay too much attention to the nonsense and to people who are obviously just trying to talk like mess about you. Um, and I really feel like it just exposes that you're insecure. And for people who say rude things to them, that lets them know that what they said was true. You trying to defend yourself constantly all the time. And obviously there's truth to what I said. If you're so upset about it, you needed to make a whole 20-minute video about it. That's what I'm talking about. It's just too much energy put towards people who you claim to not care about. The second thing is calling every man a simp. Every man who disagrees with you is not a simp. Your definition of a simp, I feel like in a lot of cases, is just a man who respects women more than you deem appropriate, and gives women more credit and I guess what is the word that you guys say? It's like victim. They treat women more like the victim than you would like them to, and now they're simps and they're pussy whipped and this and that and this and that. And again, it goes back to my original statement where I feel like it exposes your own insecurities. And I was watching Donovan Sharp's live stream last night. I only caught like the very end of it, though. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I had missed the majority of it, and I haven't gone back yet to watch the like beginning part. It was his live stream talking with what is his name? I think his name is David West. I'm pretty sure is his name. About like the things that Cassie had said. I can't remember if it's about Kevin Samuels or who it was exactly. But at the end of that live stream, David had said something. I don't know what he said about Donovan's audience, I think something like, oh, like they just take everything that you say with like it's gold or something, like it's scripture, and something along those lines. I can't remember exactly. And Donovan goes on to degrade this man's sexuality, like, oh my gosh, you're a fucking virgin, okay? Like, you're a simp and a virgin, and your wife da 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 da, and you've only had sex with one woman, and you want to come over here and talk crap about my audience. You're a simp and a virgin and a this and a that, like. And it was funny. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like it wasn't funny, but it wasn't funny because like, oh haha, he's getting at David West. It was funny because it's like, did you really just sit here and degrade this man only having sex with one woman? Like, just because you got community dick, sir, like that does not mean every man does. And every man who doesn't just throw his pee-pee at everything that moves is not a simp. A man who respects women and their boundaries and doesn't try to turn women into whores like Donovan tries to encourage his audience to do. They're not simps and they're not pussy whipped or beta males just for those reasons. And I feel like in that case with the Donovan Sharp and David West situation, I feel like Donovan is exposing that he's very insecure about his sex life, or else you wouldn't have brought that into the discussion because David said nothing about your sex life. And the only thing that you seem to have to say about this man is that he's only had sex with one woman. Like, okay, buddy, okay. And that's not something like, and he's like, okay, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And Donovan's like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna get off this live stream now. Like, okay, like, what was your point there? There was no point. I think he just wanted to kind of have a last word and have that little like, ooh, but then right at the end, he's like, oh yeah, when I get down to Vegas, we need to meet up and blah blah blah. Like, you just tried to dog this man, and you think he wants to meet up with you? I don't know your guys' friendship outside of YouTube, so maybe they can put aside their differences for business. But it just really showed. I feel like it really just exposed his insecurities and how he feels about himself. And yeah, as I said, just goes back to, you don't have to address everything. Everything doesn't have to be an issue. And I think that there's more productive things to focus on than talking crap about people and calling people bed wenches and simps and whatever you guys else call them. I don't really, I don't know. Number 3. This is more directed towards the content creators more than the commenters in those sections. But I think the biggest advice that I can give for the red pill community and the manosphere is please find a wife or a long-term relationship before you go out giving advice on how to find women and how to get the type of woman that you want. I feel like a lot of single, unwed, or 3 times divorced men have the biggest opinion on healthy relationships and how to get those. And now this is gonna come at Kevin Samuels for this one. This is definitely directed at Kevin Samuels. I don't hate all his videos either. It's just funny to me. I'm like, you're 2 times divorced, and here you are giving relationship advice. Like, the second time around, and you still couldn't find a suitable partner. Like, I thought you knew high value when you saw it. Why are you so incapable of finding a partner? I still see no ring on your finger, yet you're telling everyone else how to get a husband or a wife. And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, practice what you preach, get your own relationship, and then we can talk. And this goes for a lot of just matchmakers in general, like a lot of the Black matchmakers here on YouTube. As a side note, not necessarily, going off topic, but that's one thing that I do notice just about people who are giving dating advice in general is that they're typically single, unmarried, 3 times divorced, and just can't seem to keep a partner or find a suitable one. And I feel like these are the least likely candidates, or the least credible candidates, the least credible candidates to be giving out advice on relationships. People who cannot find healthy relationships should not be giving people advice. I feel like it's coming from a very bitter, single, and lonely place, and it's not coming from a place of I'm trying to help you, but a place of let me put you in the same situation that I'm in. So yeah, find a wife before you go out and tell other people how to get one. Yeah, find a suitable woman before you call every woman who comes on your page to debate you unsuitable. Next thing, lying about the numbers. This one is the one that gets me the most because I feel like there's a lot of discrepancies in these numbers. And by that I mean like the statistics that a lot of these men put out, or that they pull up for their live streams and when they're making their points. I feel like these numbers are very skewed. So these numbers are from the 2018 census, which was the last census that I believe we had, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if I am, correct me. But as of the 2018 census, only 50% of Black men actually attended college, and only 19% of them have a BA or higher. My point there is that that debunks the claim that Black men are more educated, because as of 2018, which is barely 3 years ago, that's not the case. The full-time earning of Black men make a median of $30,928. The reason why I bring this up is because a lot of Black men are making the claim also that Black men are making more money and they're more leveled up, and oh, we do have money, we're just not trying to share it with everyone. You only make $30,000 on average. That's not a lot to share. And only 13% of Black men earn $75K or up, which I actually think is the statistics that was used for the last live stream that I called into. If you watch that video, let's talk about the manosphere here on YouTube. I believe that is the statistic that the business brought up. And this is Black men, not all men. I forgot to write down the statistic of all men. But Black men specifically only make $75K a year. As of 2020, only 44% of Black people, both genders combined, own a home. And if those numbers were obviously separated by gender, the number would be a lot less. Also, I want to debunk the myth that Black women are the ones who are going to die alone. As of actually, nope, that's the last statistic. Let me regroup. It's also proven that Black men die sooner than Black women, primarily due to health problems. We know that health is a very big issue in the Black community, and I'm sure we can all agree that the majority of our fathers were the last man to go to the doctor if something was wrong. Last person to call the hospital. Last person to do anything medical. Okay, and we know that that is due to, a long history of medical a little bit of a medical distrust, and other things, abuse of Black people within the medical community, etc., etc. 44% of Black men are overweight. Leading causes of death as of 2017 are heart disease, which is 23.7%, and cancer, which is 20% as well. Black men also suffer more from treatable oral diseases, such as gingivitis and black tongue, those sorts of things, infections of molars, needing more root canals, and those sorts of things. So Black men are not taking very good care of their health or their finances. And those are the biggest discrepancies. Black men are having shorter life expectancies and do not earn a very providable wage as of 2018. As of 2018, let's also remember these are 2-year-olds, or almost 3-year-old stats. So, but those were the most recent ones that I could find. So these are the ones that I'm using. And I think it's really important that we stop lying about these numbers, because the sooner that we can be honest about what's happening in our community, specifically the Black men in the community, I think the sooner that we can make progress, the sooner that we stop lying, especially to these younger boys who are joining the manosphere and the red pill community, the sooner that we stop lying to them about what their reality is and what the future for them is going to look like, I think you're going to make progress. I have no doubt that Black men can excel. That's not the issue. I'm not here to tell you that you're never going to progress, but I'm saying that doing these things are not going to help your case. Especially for the younger men. It doesn't look good on you to talk crap about everyone who you don't like or who disagrees with you, and it makes you look feminine. It does. It makes you look very feminine to go on a live stream for 2 hours degrading a woman who you repeatedly say you're not interested in. How about we focus on more productive things? Like, let me teach these young boys how to make multiple streams of income. Let me teach these men profitable degrees that will actually make them money without them having to bust their ass for the next 50 trillion years. Those sorts of things. Best places to buy a home in the United States. Like, let's talk about more productive things, okay? Once we get past these lies about, oh, Black men are making so much money and Black men do this and that and this and that and this and that, when the numbers show that they don't, I think that you guys will actually be able to get somewhere and you will really be able to progress in this community and with the mentality that you have. And yes, I am drinking out of a pickle jar. Judge me if you want to. So yeah, let's debunk that and let's just get that out of the way. Black men are still in the very lowest percentage of finances and education. And I think that that's something that we really need to talk about and stop making the notion that Black men are just excelling, because they are not. They are not. They are beginning to. Obviously, the numbers have slowly been rising, especially what year was it? I saw it on the statistic. I'm trying to remember. It was like a couple years after the recession, because the recession was in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe it was 2012 was when the numbers slowly started to rise back up, but they are still very low. Still very low. Reason number 5 is being overly entitled. There's nothing wrong with having boundaries and, being confident in yourself, but feeling like you deserve a J-Lo when you're a janitor is unrealistic and foolish. I think in the same way that we tell women that they need to date their worth, or, if they're of a certain age and of a, not super attractive, that they should not expect to find a super rich man or a super attractive man or a man who makes X amount of money. And I think that the same should be said for men. There's plenty of evidence that proves that women pretty much see all men as like 3 to 5, as about average or right below average. And I think with that statistic, it lets it be known that looks are not it for us, okay? And not only are looks not it for us, we also have a lot of standards when it comes to what they need to bring to the table. But if we're just going solely based off of looks first, if you're ugly, do not expect no drop dead gorgeous female. And that's just that, unless you just have like a boatload of resources for this woman, or maybe you just have a really good personality. But it's not going to be your face that does it for you. And a lot of women go off of looks, which is something that a lot of you guys will admit. And also, if you're broke, do not expect a drop dead gorgeous woman unless she's just the biggest pick-me in the universe, like the biggest doormat known to man. Now, if that's what you're looking for, like a doormat, then maybe you can find a really pretty woman when you have no money. But yeah, according to statistics, Black men don't make that much money, and I feel for that, your expectations should be a lot lower for the women that you desire. Or maybe you should just desire women who are below, I don't know, lower your expectations is pretty much all I'm saying. Because you're not in a position to be asking for much. The same way that you say women over 35, should not expect the most. I think that men who are traditionally unattractive, societally unattractive, and financially unattractive aim a little lower. Tuck that down a couple notches, unless you're willing to put in the work to make more money to get the women that you want. And I said this in my last live stream as well. I think that if you desire a certain type of woman, you need to be at that level. And I tell women, if you want a man of a certain standard, you also should probably be near that level. I'm not saying you need to be a millionaire to get a millionaire, but you need to be making a good amount of something if you don't meet him like way before he's rich, which is actually a stream that I think I should make. Potentials. That'll be a different video. But yeah. Number, what was that? 4? 4? Was that 4? No, I think that actually might have been 5. Yeah, that was the last one. Being overly entitled. Feeling like you deserve a 10 when you are a -4. It's unrealistic, and I feel like it's setting you up to become an incel and being bitter. And you know what? Number 6, stop being so bitter. That's it. There we go. Bonus tip. Let's stop being so bitter, guys. I feel like all of these things that I've listed, doing these 5 things, will eventually lead you down a very deep rabbit hole of incelery. And just not not being very approachable. You're gonna turn into those dudes on Reddit who are like, fuck Chad, because you're so bitter and angry at the world and at women. Like, you can't go through life being this angry at the opposite gender. Like, you're not gonna get anywhere that way. And I know a lot of you guys want relationships, and I know a lot of you guys are looking for a wife. And doing these 5 things will very much prevent you from finding these things. I think that it's really, we need to be honest with ourselves if we're really trying to level up if you're really trying to level up as a man and really like put your best foot forward. We've got to stop the degrading of everyone who we don't like and who disagrees with us. It makes us look childish and petty, and it looks like you're lying when you say you don't care about these people because you're giving them a lot of energy. And yeah, find a wife before you go out giving advice to people, okay? I'm really tired of seeing men with no ring on their finger talk about how to get a wife and where the high value women are. If you know where they are, why can't you find one? Why can't you find one? Or are you single by choice? But if a woman says that, then it's, oh, you're lying. You don't have a choice. So, but we're not going to go back into that we're not going to do the back and forth. Oh, if a woman did this and if a man, because I hate those comparisons. If the roles were reversed, fuck the roles being reversed. We're not talking about the roles being reversed. So yeah, it's kind of a short live stream. I had written down notes just so that it would be a little bit more cohesive and put together, and then I kind of already had my ideas laid out before I talked. So if you kind of like more of that layout better than me just kind of like hopping on here on a whim and talking, then I can do more videos, more structured. But yeah, I definitely like to do more live streams and continue talking about these subjects from a more neutral standpoint. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle here, where I see men's point of view and also women's point of view. And yeah, I'd kind of like to keep being a part of the discussion if you guys enjoy my commentary. So yeah, that's the video. Stop doing these 5 things, and I think that you'll see a lot of progression in your personal life. And yeah, so that's the end of the live stream. If you like it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe. And I will talk with you maybe tonight. I'll do another live stream because I have another video idea that I wrote out. And yeah, we'll just see what goes on in the live stream community tonight for me to speak on. Maybe there'll be something interesting for me to talk about. Alrighty, bye-bye.